Your eyes do not deceive you. That's 2 videos in one day. Like London buses are, these rambles. Nick from Claret and Booze back once again. As always, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, drop a like on the video. Okay, I'm going to get through this first part of the video pretty quick because I've got another video. I've been digging through the archives. I made a video about 5 months ago, 6 months ago, when Nottingham Forest were at their pomp under Nuno after they'd just beat Spurs against the odds, literally. You know, with 30%, ignore my maths in this video. I said that Nottingham Forest had 30% and Tottenham had 30%. But you know me, I always like to do a deliberate mistake in every video. Against XG and everything else. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to talk to you once this video is over about the fans that are calling for Nuno to replace Potter. And also the news that Amanda Staveley is interested, apparently, in stepping in at West Ham. All right, so I'll play this for you first, and I'll talk to you in a minute. I saw Tottenham lose to Nottingham Forest last night, 2-1. Didn't see the game because we was streaming. But then I looked at the stats, and the stats were very Nottingham Forest-like, and that was they won the game with a 0.6 XG versus Tottenham's 2.3 or whatever it was, with 30% possession to Tottenham's 30. Tottenham had 21 shots on goal. They had 4. This is a mirror image of what we were like when David Moyes was in his pomp at West Ham. And I think that they're probably going to go the same way unless they can handle the transition better than we did. Because transition, you must. You get found out. And if you go back to when David Moyes first started, like I've always said, David Moyes did well when he came in. I say the same now. He probably always will when he goes into a job, Sunderland aside, because he is a ripcord manager. You know, break this glass, pull this cord in case of emergency. Because that style of football, it's got a short shelf life. It really has. And it's so effective. Nottingham Forest are brilliant at it. It's like you're sitting back, you're absorbing all the pressure, and then you're just committing a robbery every week. Because you just sucker punching the opposition, you're hitting them on the counter, and it's a viable tactic, and it can work really well, like it did with West Ham. We had some great times doing that, you know, especially when we had the likes of Lingard. It's counter attack. You sit back, go. But then what happens is, especially in the Premier League, and especially when you are lethal at it, the Premier League wise up, the opposition wises up, and they stop allowing you to get in behind them. They treat you with more respect. And they go, nah, you're not doing that to us this week. Come at us. Have a go at playing football against us and taking us apart. And that is when the counter-attack goals dry up. When the opposition sit a little bit deeper, they're a little bit less expressive, and they show you more respect. Then you hit on hard times. And that is what happened at the second half of the season before we got Petition in. Rob Newman came in. And you can go back and you can look at the comments and I did last night. They're still there. They're still on the West Ham page from Rob Newman, from David Moyes as well, where he basically said what I'm saying to you now. We've been found out. We need to play football in a different way. Teams just don't allow you to rob them anymore. That's literally it. They go, no, I'm not having this anymore. We're coming at you. We're trying to break you down, and you're just making us look stupid because you're hitting us on the counter attack. So they go over to you. You try and break us down. 2 completely different styles and ways of playing football. I do think that this will happen with Nottingham Forest because they are lethal on the counter attack, and they're winning against the XG. Like David Moyes did at the first part of his last season, was winning against XG every week. He went back. So he binned the experiment of trying to change the way that we was playing, and he went back to counter-attack. And it worked for a short while until it didn't. And the wheels came flying off. And it always will. That will happen. You know, you've got to expect your opposition to be stupid to let you do that. So every team that plays that way, if you do want to sort of maintain any sort of level of success, you have to transition at some point. And it is a big transition. To go from a deep defensive counter-attacking team to a team that all of a sudden have to have the ball and break the opposition down. It's two completely different ways of playing football. So it's short-sighted in a degree. I'm not blaming Nottingham Forest for doing it. They're having a great time, as we did, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because we needed that at the time. But when the time comes and you have to make that transition, which absolutely will happen with Forest as well, they're going to have to handle that transition a lot better than us, or they're going to end up just like us. It's a big change, you know. You've got to have the right man in place first and foremost. You have to have the right man that's capable of coaching that style of football. And you have to get the recruitment right. But ultimately, what people are calling out for is for us to go back their rose tint into when we used to be this deep sort of counter-attacking team. We didn't change away from that style because they were listening to the fans. So that weren't the case at all. They moved away from that style because it just wasn't working anymore. The results weren't there. So we had to adapt. We had to change. And like I said, in fairness, as we've... And there you have it. So that was around about 6 months ago, when Nottingham Forest were at their pomp. And what we've got now, and I can understand it, desperate times, desperate measures, people start rose tinting, they want to go back to better times. Like when Gary from Romford talks about the going back to Moyes when it was counter-attack, is short-lived. You know, you're committing a robbery every week. That's what you're doing. It's not going to work. So what we would effectively be calling for and facilitating as a fan base, to welcome somebody like Nuno Espirito Moisio into the club, who's a nice man, he's a good guy, but he's that type of manager, is taking us back 5 years to when Moyes first joined. Basically encouraging the club to be able to start this death loop again that we keep on getting caught in, because we will never transition away. We won't. We'll go so far, we'll fail, we'll crash, we'll get another disaster recovery manager in, and it will turn to shit again. That is what will happen. So Nuno, for me, no chance. No Nuno. No. It's exactly the same style of football, and it's been proven now that it's just not suited. It's not sustainable in the long term. Now we've been through. The problem was, because it's looking like Forest are getting Ange Postecoglou in, which absolutely breaks my heart completely, because that's the type of man that you want to get if you want to change style. You know, watch this space. I guarantee you, he's a success at Nottingham Forest. I guarantee it, with the players that they've got. High energy, loads of pace all over the place. They'll be completely different. So it kind of, that's the direction that we still need to go in now. We can't go back. We can't revert back. Because eventually we're just going to end up, we're going to get relegated. It's going to be miserable. I'm fed up watching that style of football anyway. It works for a short time. Even when it does work, you just sucker punching. You've got the ball for 20, 30% of the time, and, you know, you're relying on lethal counter-attacks. I don't want that. You know, I want to be dominating the game, but not in the way that we're dominating it, which is in our own half most of the time. You know, the last game aside, I want us to be taking the game to the opponent. You know, that's what I want. I don't want to watch chess. I want to see an attacking brand of football, and that's what we need. That's what the fan base wants. So for me, Nuno it can't happen, or any manager like him. Any manager like him, or a Dyche, or anyone else, you're taking us right back to when David Moyes started here again, and we might have a little short-term period of relief. That's it. The same as I wouldn't want Moyes back. It's the same thing, and that's even from a personal point of view. I don't want that type of manager back again. It won't work long-term at Everton. I guarantee it. All right. So the other news is I don't know too much about this, but that's Amanda Staveley. Apparently, as she's either been earmarked or she's looking at the potential opening for a role to come in and run West Ham, which is what Hammers United are calling for. They're calling for Brady and Sullivan. Well, I don't know about Brady. Brady wouldn't be stepping down. She'd just be sacked because she isn't a shareholder. So Brady would be gone. You just get rid of her. It would be Sullivan and the other board members that are active in ruining this club. They would step back completely and basically have nothing to do with the running of the club. And they would charge somebody else with running the day-to-day business with no involvement from them. That would be the mandate. To get somebody like Amanda Staveley in would be a massive step up. You know, she done a really, really good job when she went into Newcastle. She's massive on fan engagement. She's not fake in any way. I'm not going to talk about her face. Looks like she's been trapped in a wind tunnel. I'm only joking, Amanda. I hope that you do. Seriously, I think that'd be good. That'd be a good for me until they sell. That would be perfect for them to just piss off, sit in the background, have nothing to do with West Ham, and get somebody like Amanda Staveley in to run the show at West Ham. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, yeah, big thumbs up from me. But let me know what your thoughts are on the Nuno link. Not for me. After watching that video, have I changed your mind? Or would you still like to go back again? That's a good one. So let me know in the comments if you wanted Nuno before this video, and then after watching it, I've managed to change your mind. It's not lies, it's there, it's facts. It didn't work under Nuno. He's been sacked, they've replaced him. Everything Nostradamus Nick here predicted has come to fruition. I'll speak to you soon. Come on, you irons.